Hi, my name is quaneshia Kemmerlin. Today my topic will be on homosexual rights. Is it fair that if you like another gender, you have limitations because you like the opposite sex? I believe it's not fair, and that's why we're going to get down to it right now. Here's a quote that Dr. King wrote. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Things that matter in this world, people don't talk about. There are very important politics and things that go on in this world, and little people know about it. They go silent about the things that matter, but they're very loud about things that don't matter, and that's a problem. The issue of same-sex marriage is an argument that all of us have heard and most of us have strong opinions on. Personally, I believe that homosexuals should be granted the same rights as heterosexual couples. As I said before, marriage is a basic human right. You cannot tell people who they can fall in love with. Who are we? I say this in reference to marriage between races. The same can be said about homosexuals. Who are we to allow some people to get married and tell others they cannot? However, regardless of my beliefs, I would first like to provide some background on the history of same-sex marriage. Years ago, homosexuality was unacceptable. Most that were gay hid from others and did not act upon it. They married the opposite gender to live out a normal life. There are many instances of homosexuals being prosecuted and discriminated against. If you are gay and you are being discriminated against, I consider that as an act of segregation. Back then, they separated blacks and white. They did not want us to be mixed in. You couldn't date them. You couldn't talk to them. You couldn't drink at the same water fountain. Couldn't go to the same school. Couldn't eat in the same restaurant. If you did, blacks was in the back and whites was in the front. And that's how it was. At one point, homosexuality was considered a mental illness. People who were gay back then was actually put in the mental hospital to be tested, to see if they can break that, to see if, it was just a phase, to see what's going on with that person, because it was just not human-like for a male to like a male or a female to like a female. And that's horrible. Being gay becomes more acceptable, and homosexuals fought for more rights. Eventually, the right to marry. And I don't see any problem. I don't see a problem with that at all. Because if that's what you like, why can't you like the opposite sex? As a young girl, the fight for the allowance of same-sex marriage has become a long process. The issue is coming more into the light of current politics. There's a court case that happened years ago. I think it was around 1930, but the date of that was 1942, I believe. And it was called the Skinner versus Oklahoma. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that marriage is one of the basic civil rights. Civil rights are rights that cover all genders, no matter the sexuality of the individual. This court case have paved the way for same-sex couples to fight for equal marriage rights. I used to not welcome gay, but now it's like, if that's what you like, that's what you like. You can't judge someone based on who they are or who they want to be or whatever the case may be. There was a quote that was written by Dr. King, and he said that he never welcomed gays, but he left a key behind so they can come in. That's just the way it should be. You shouldn't discriminate people based on what they like. On a more federal level, Bill Clinton passed the Defense of Marriage Act, which stated that the federal government defines marriage as a union between a man and woman, but does not require any states to accept the definition, nor does it ban any state from allowing the same-sex marriage. Supporters of gay marriage have fought a long battle. It's been years, decades. But back then, in decade time, like when Jesus was born, people hit it. I mean, not when Jesus was born, but before then, You know, people hid it. People didn't want anyone to know. But now it's just, if you're gay, you're gay. People can tell that you're gay. You're out in the open and you're living your life. But why be discriminated against based on what you like? Supporters of gay marriage have time. And hopefully, it comes through. It comes through. They went through a lot of ups and downs. Hopefully, in the next year, marriage will be legal, and we will see. See it as a dream. Marriage between white and black, being completely normal. You know, so that was my topic. Homosexual rights. I'm quaneshia Kemmerlin. Thanks for watching my video.